I would like to welcome everybody to our organizational meeting at 5 o'clock on Tuesday night. Let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right, the organizational meeting, number one is election of vice chair. Do we have a motion for an election for vice chair?
I move that we nominate Ms. Stacy. I move that we nominate Ms. Stacy Bronston Rizzo as vice chair of the Revere School Committee for the next year.
Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Let's do a roll call.
Mrs. Bronston Rizzo. Mr. Ferranti.
Stacy Rizzo.
You didn't let Stacy vote. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Mrs. Bronston Rizzo.
Yes.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravelisi.
Yes.
Mr. Kingston.
Yes.
Mrs. Milbury Ellis.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Arrigo.
Okay. Congratulations to Stacy Bronson Rizzo as our vice chair.
You can,
You want?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms. Ty.
well, it's Mr. Chair. I thought we might switch to
It's all
Stacy
right,
now.
whatever.
I move that we nominate Susan Gravelisi for the position of Secretary of the Revere School Committee.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bronston Rizzo.
Yes.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravelisi.
Yes.
Mrs. Milbury Ellis.
Yes.
Mr. Kingston.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Arrigo.
Congratulations to Ms. Granavisi as our secretary. Next on there is the adoption of Robert's Rules of Order.
Motion to accept Robert rules?
Do you have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bronston Rizzo.
Yes.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravelisi.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Mrs. Milbury Ellis.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Arrigo.
They are adopted. All right, number 4 is the order of authority for the signing of official documents, warrants, vouchers for Revere Public Schools.
Motion to accept the sign-in of warrant vouchers for Revere Public Schools, and according to our policies, that would be the mayor and the superintendent.
Do we have a second?
If I may ask a question of the superintendent?
No. Second.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Ty. Go ahead.
Is that the order that is in practice right now? Because I asked Mr. Cruz and he gave me a different order.
The formal order, as on record with the city, is the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, and we've named Dr. Mokaba as the assistant superintendent to be a
Okay.
second signatory, then Mr. Cruz, and then the mayor. With the idea being that it would be highly unlikely that none of us would be available to sign.
So if you could forward those names, because our policies don't state it that way, and that way we can update them.
Okay. Can you do that, Matt?
Thank you.
All right, Danielle, I need a roll call for number 4.
Mrs. Bronston Rizzo.
Yes.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravelisi.
Yes.
Mr. Kingston.
Yes.
Mrs. Milbury Ellis.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Next is the school committee operating protocols. Ms.
Mr.
Ty.
Chairman, I move that we continue with these school committee operating protocols that we had done for the previous calendar year, and that since there are no major changes and only incidental changes to punctuation, that we adopt them as they are for this year.
Second? Do we need a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bronston Rizzo.
Yes.
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Ms. Gravelisi.
Yes.
Mr. Kingston.
Yes.
Mrs. Milbury Ellis.
Yes.
Ms. Ty.
Yes.
Mayor Arrigo.
vote for the last one?
Mayor Rego, that last vote was to adopt the operating protocols, which the motion was to approve the same ones from last year with minor grammatical corrections.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is the schedule for remaining meetings of the school committee for 2023. The next meeting is February 21st, 2023, then March 21st, 2023, then 4/18, 2023, 5/16, 2023, and 6/20, 2023.
Mr. Chairman,
Sure.
I know that there was some issue about having meetings on vacation, school vacation, mainly because we certainly cannot ask teachers and kids to come to a meeting. And frankly, without teachers and kids, our meetings are somewhat boring. So I think I would move, just throw it out there, that we set the February meeting for 2/20. No, we can't do that.
28th? 28th.
That we have a discussion about this in the meantime and do this at move it to the regular school committee meeting. Tonight.
All right, so,
Mr. Ferranti?
Mrs. Rizzo?
We have a second, right?
I need a, Aisha second.
Just, we go through this every time there's a school vacation coming up. And we talk about consistency, and we talk about moving things around, and it might be better on those weeks if we do something that doesn't have to be student and teacher based. There's plenty of things that we could be working on as a school committee business. I would just prefer to see the consistency, and not telling the public, we're here this month, we're not here next month. And then also, everyone else has a social calendar that they go by, that they might not be able to change it to the fourth Tuesday or the second Tuesday. So, I mean, if anyone wants to have a discussion, that's fine, but that's been my opinion for the last few years. There's many times that some of us haven't been able to make a meeting, and we can't, so we're not here. I mean, but I can understand if you want to discuss it. That's my opinion.
Is it, anybody else have a question? Ms. Gravellisi? Yes, we're discussing it.
Thank you, Mr. Ferranti. With all due respect, Ms. Ty, we have discussed this multiple times in the past, and I feel consistency with our calendar and our schedule works best. There's been plenty of times that in the past, we were constantly changing the meeting dates, and, you know, it was this week, it was the second week, the fourth week. So I believe the third Tuesday being consistent would be my preference, but we'll see what the will of the committee is.
Well, it would certainly be my preference not to, but that's all right. You know, we can discuss it in the next, you know, in the interim tonight, we have it. We have enough time to do that, so.
All right, Ms. Melbury Ellis?
I would just say that I would agree with Ms. Ty. I think a little bit of flexibility. We're all public servants here, and for me, it would be a preference to have that flexibility during school vacation weeks to not meet. I think it's a small accommodation, and it's not, I don't think it would inconvenience too many people other than us. So that would be my preference.
Mr. Kingston?
I agree. I don't think we should meet on school vacation weeks. I think it's important to talk about the things that we talk about, and I don't think it's fair to ask students or parents or staff to come to those meetings because they are on their vacation. And I don't think it's that big an inconvenience. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, do you have an opinion on this?
So I'll just chime in and say I guess I appreciate both sides. The one thing that I would throw out there, and I don't know if this is worth discussing further, but have we thought about possibly doing a fully remote meeting or having some kind of, and I actually like Mrs. Rizzo's point about maybe there's some almost kind of professional development or some kind of thing that we could do that's a little different than our regular meetings, but we keep it and have it be remote, and it may be, it's just a little bit easier for all of us to hop on and carve out, especially if we're, a lot of times people are on vacation for that, and I throw that out there. Maybe we can talk about it a little bit more, but maybe that's a little bit of a compromise.
I would like to just give my opinion. I think that we should leave the meetings the way they are. I think consistency is important, and as long as the superintendent can come up with things on those particular dates that we do meet, whether it's in live or remote, that we can make this work. Because then you're going to say, well, people want to go on vacation, then we're going to have to change it around. And I just think that if these are the dates, let's make sure that we're there. We'll figure out how to do it. And the problem is, if we don't agree to this thing, we have to make the change now, because the next meeting is the 21st of February. So I'm not sure the will of the committee what we would like to do with this, but that's just my opinion.
Well,
ahead, Ms.
I'll
Ty.
repeat that I just think that we have, it might merit some more discussion, and we have some time tonight, and we should vote on it tonight, of course.
So you want to bring it up with the regular school committee meeting? Talk about it
Or
then?
at the committee of the whole, or whatever.
Can I don't think this is something that we need to be discussing publicly. I'm not saying hide it publicly, but it's just, we're going back and there's so much work to be done. So if someone wants to have a Zoom meeting next week or something, I think that might be a little bit more appropriate than hashing this back and forth. We're talking dates, we're talking business,
Well, if we could stop talking about it now.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, we need to address this to have one way or the other. Either, we're going to either move them, or we're going to leave them alone, one or the other. Now, we don't have to decide right
Just
now.
with Robert's rules, Ms. Ty did make a motion to move it to the regular meeting, and Ms. Milbury Ellis seconded that.
So we
I
can
think
vote,
you
we
have
can
to call
vote.
the discussion
All
at
right,
least.
so we need to vote on the amended motion. Not really?
Just a motion.
Okay, all right. So it will go to either the committee of the whole or the school committee meeting? Okay, that's fine. We good with that, everybody?
Do you want to do like an all in favor or an actual vote?
Well, go ahead, Ms. Rizzo.
I mean, first of all, there's no motion on our meeting dates. That's in our bylaw, our policies. So there's no motion on that. If someone wants to have a discussion, that's fine, but it's not something that we have to vote on.
Well, that's all they want to do is bring it to either next meeting or the school committee meeting just to discuss it. There's no vote.
But I don't think tonight is appropriate. We have a full agenda for both.
We have a 5:30.
But the
Motion on the floor. Let's vote.
So the motion is to send it,
Taking more time now.
so the motion, Ms. Ty, is to send this to the regular meeting for the vote on the
We
dates.
can have a discussion before that.
Let's do a roll call then.
Mrs. Bronston Rizzo,
No.
Mr. Ferranti.
No.
Miss Gravellisi,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
Mrs. Milbury Ellis,
Yes.
Miss Ty,
Yes.
Mayor Rigo.
Yes.
All right, at that point, that this will be discussed at the regular meeting. Are there any other issues need to be brought up before we adjourn this meeting? Seeing, hearing none?
Move to adjourn?
Need a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bronston Rizzo,
Yes?
Mr. Ferranti.
Yes.
Miss Gravellisi,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston.
Yes.
Mrs. Milbury Ellis.
Yes.
Miss Ty,
Yes.
Mayor Rigo.
Yes.
All right, that completes our organizational meeting. Thank you for attending, people.